Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Captain Sim Lockheed TriStar, and we are specifically flying with the Delta livery, since I think Delta was the biggest customer of the Lockheed TriStar, which I actually didn't know, since I always kind of thought of Delta being kind of MD-11, DC-10, but they actually didn't have that many DC-10s, and I guess it was only for the MD-11 that they kind of became, how would you say, connected to that with, I guess, with the Olympics in Atlanta, etc. And we're doing a flight from, for those of you who are quick to notice, we are at the LAX, so Los Angeles, and we are flying to Las Vegas, so a very short flight. And I actually, I think this is the third attempt of me doing a flight with this aircraft and recording it. First one, I had to go, so then I just didn't have time to finish it. And then the second one, I did a full flight in India actually, but then my sound hadn't been set up properly. I think I noticed it on a few of my latest videos, so I decided to kind of, not finish that recording, because it's a bit of a bummer not to hear the engine sounds in the background, etc. I think that does add a bit to the recordings. Even for myself, if I go back and check a video to see maybe how an aircraft is set up, or how it worked, or similar. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer not to have the sound. And also, I finally decided to add PBR to the Lockheed TriStar by Captain Sim. It's a damn shame a lot of these P3D version 5 aircraft supposedly native, but then they lack PBR. I mean, look at this aircraft now. It looks absolutely beautiful. You can have a look at my older videos. It looks great there as well, but it just looks better with the PBR because it interacts with the environment, which just makes it generally better. Let's see, of course, when you use model converter, things can go wrong. Some things maybe don't look as good, for example, PBR here on the inside of the engine, but I think the general kind of addition of PBR is does kind of help make the aircraft look, I don't know, more realistic, I guess. And yeah, look at this, the S-duct. I think this one differs, right? As it goes down like this compared to, let's say, the MD-11 or the DC-10. I guess DC-10 was the main competitor, which goes kind of straight here. And I guess also the DC-10 was kind of what broke the camel's back for this aircraft, since it was just able to be released earlier, and even though it had its issues, but it just it took away a lot of the sales. Because this one was very advanced when it was developed and came out, auto-land capabilities, the direct lift control system. Let's see how that goes with the landing as well. I've been able to do now 3 landings that were pretty good, but it's a pain because you're not using pitch, you're controlling the spoilers, then you have to, or at least the way I do it is I compensate with a lot of thrust. But it's not a nice balancing act. I really hate doing the manual landings. But I do hate even more to do an auto land when I can do a manual landing, so yeah, it's it's a losing game. Yeah, I really like this livery as well. It looks very beautiful. It's a very chunky plane. I always say it looks like a knight of the sky with those wings. Specifically if you look at some old videos, it's just so kind of armored. But yeah, I think that's it. The aircraft looks beautiful. I didn't see any issues with it. Not that it simulates that. Let's see if we can walk up from this. No, we can't. Bummer. But yeah, I think we're ready to start boarding, get everything ready, and pop in everything into the INS. I've already started the GPU and stuff just so I could get on the parking brakes, because GSX needs that. And let's see if we have a nice viewpoint here on the outside that we can use. Yeah, here you can see what I talk about, the wings, the spoilers, the ailerons. It just looks really kind of heavy, which I guess makes sense. It's a big aircraft, right? I guess originally considered a super, or not super jumbo, but one of these jumbo jets, the DC-10 and the 747. Even though I would personally think only the 747 should qualify for that, but oh well. Can we go into the window or behind the? Let's check. God, it's far back. like this. This is a pretty cool. How low do we have to go to be like? Yeah, there we go. Now we're watching it like a normal human being or one who's about to board. Let's get the Luke Air tool up. So we use that. I'm still not sure if I like this more than Pack X. Maybe I'll start using. I like Pack X because it's kind of automated. That gives it that's a big benefit according to me. But yeah, it's not the end all do all. Let's see. Actually, before we catering operator, I want catering. Maybe not wrong. We can have catering. Why not? 3 to 3 passengers. We're gonna do 120. I think that's a good number for GSX. Won't take too long then. We don't need to select the jetway. I hope not, at least. Here we can also choose the TriStar. There we go. We'll do 120 as well. We'll check if they have Delta, and they seem to have that, so we'll use that. Not sure we'll have any boarding music, but it's worth a shot. We'll start boarding passengers. Yeah, maybe no boarding music. Doesn't really make too big of a difference. Look at that, we're gonna get some catering. Not sure which door it's gonna go to though. Let's assume it's gonna be the front one, so I'll open that. Technically though, it shouldn't be open before I guess the truck is there, just for the risk of falling out. But let's see if it comes to the right place. It should, I think. I think it's mapped pretty okay, some of these. I've had to tweak a bit of them, but generally speaking, it should be fine. I guess it's only gonna be one catering truck. Interesting though that none of these cargo ones have. Maybe they are waiting for boarding passengers in 1 minute. Okay, so it's gonna be pretty soon. Let's see here. A bit high. So not the best look, unfortunately. You can see the door, right? So we would have to tweak it a bit. I'll have to fix that at some point. Not the end of the world though. And there we have it. But yeah, if you're starting the aircraft, remember battery, then shift 2, GPU, put it on here, and then these two to get the parking brake working. Apart from that, I also put on the nav lights. But we are also going to bring up the INS, and I like to bring this one up first, because then I'll go to standby. And the first thing we'll do is the position of our bird. And I do prefer to put this in myself. Now let's see if I can get this to work though. Okay, it does work, but for some reason it wants to. I would want to start with the it's so annoying with this one. I don't know why, but it's. I thought I had it figured out, but apparently I don't. Okay, we can't do that. So what we'll do is west 118 2469 24. It should be 7. I'll insert that because we're anyway gonna have to do the northern one, and that's gonna be. I still don't get, like, it jumps to this one, but we do wanna. Let me see if I can somehow get it to function. It's still doing this other one. Okay, let's try it then again. 118 247 33566. Let's just go with this since it does seem to do it. But yeah, a bit annoying. I like to kind of populate them myself. Guess a bit of OCD in that regard. So we'll do align The waypoints work a bit better, fortunately. Oh, but look at that. That's the problem I have. Yeah, it's not taking the first one. Let me go back to standby. There we go. 3, 3, 5, 6, 6. And then we'll do west 1, 1, 8, 2, 4, 7. Now it should work. Yeah, look at that. So that's the reason you need to populate both. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. And now we have it on alignment. We can keep it here on auto. You can use it also in the 3D one. It works pretty well. I'll use it for the waypoints. But I like the 2D one in the sense that you can tweak this button. Otherwise, you have to jump all the way up here to do that, which is a bit frustrating. And you can see now the car goes. Things are happening. Actually, let me just quickly. Can we see from here? Now we have a really nice livery here. Tahiti, something United. And what's that? That's a 747 KLAS cargo. I have around 30%, I think, so I have quite a lot. I've done 100% as well, but it's not worth the bit of the hit that the FPS takes, because I have increased the range of my when I upgraded CPU, so the auto generate loads in. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm not sure if it's worth risking any additional stuttering, but let's see. And yeah, fuel and payload. That's what we need to put in. Totally forgot about that. We should have done it earlier. We'll do block fuel first. Let me check here on my hardware one. It's going to be 42,200. Zero fuel is gonna go up to 322,700. I will press OK, and it's loading the data, and it's in the sim now. And the way we can double check it is, of course, by just having a look here, and it looks correct with the total fuel, so that's nice. We're not going to be flying very high in terms of altitude. I think it's 27,000, but let's have a look. 25. It feels a bit low. It's not a long flight though, to be honest. How long is it? It's based on this, it's basically, I'm going to show you by TDC. It's going to be kind of straight ones. We're taking off from 25 right. That's a bit of a bummer. So it's this one. We'll have to taxi quite a way to 25 right. But yeah, it's otherwise it's going to be quite straight. I mean, it's like 150, 200. Okay, maybe 25,000 is fine. Yeah, top of the descent, only 67 nautical miles. It's not that far, actually, Las Vegas from LA. I always figure it's further away, but nope. And for some reason, since Las Vegas is even more kind of arid, I always think of it as being more south than it is compared to LA. Funny also how LA is quite high when you think about, Florida, for example, is much more south. Or much more, but a bit at least. Let's connect to the sim. I've finally, I think, figured out how to get rid of the SIDS and stars when you're using an aircraft like this, and that's, not having ATC assign them. The problem I've noticed is that they don't seem to assign an approach, even though you have that selected. So it could be that the approach is tied to getting a star assigned. So we might have to ask for an approach ourselves. So let's just remember that. Let's ask for clearance delivery.
Arriving and departing runway 25
Oh no, now
right,
we have the normal
25
ATC.
left, 24 left,
Delta
24
4003, heavy, ready to copy, IFR clearance.
1153 local winds are
We
088
forgot to
at 3
validate and
knots.
file it.
Visibility 10 miles. Skies clear.
Let me do it like this.
Temperature 9.
Hopefully we can quickly.
Clearance delivery. Delta 4003 ready to copy IFR clearance.
Oh, that's weird. It's actually not.
1153 local winds are 088 at 3 knots.
Where is that
Visibility
coming?
10
It's
miles.
not from the in-game one.
Skies clear. Temperature 9.
Or maybe it is, I don't
2.7.
know.
Current QNA.
Delta 4003 is cleared to Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra as filed. Expect departure runway 25 right.
Okay, 25 right,
Climb and maintain
6,000
6,000
feet,
feet.
4332.
Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after
Okay, let's
departure.
put that in so we have it.
SoCal departure on 125.2.
And this is, you know,
Squawk 4332.
kind of my favorite time period of aircraft in the sense that, you know, you still have
Delta
kind of the analog, but, you know,
4003
you
is
have some
cleared to Kilo
modernities.
Lima
It's kind of a
Alpha
cool
Sierra as filed.
time period.
Climb and maintain
Let me move this
6,000
one
feet.
away as well, so you
Expect
don't have to
higher
look at it when I
clearances
bring it
2
up.
minutes after departure.
Okay, 4332,
SoCal departure on
right?
125.2.
I think that was it, right?
4332.
4332, yeah. So we have that.
1153
I think
local
that's
winds
the
are
correct
088
setting.
at 3 knots.
Can move those.
Visibility 10 miles.
Yeah,
Skies
good,
clear.
10 miles.
Temp
Delta 4003 read back correct. QNH is 1018. Contact Los Angeles
1018.
ground
Okay,
on
we need to change because we're in the
121.75.
US now. We're flying a
When
lot
ready for
in
pushback, have a good one.
the rest of the world. Okay, but let's put
QNH
it
is
in.
1018. Ground on
1018.
121.75. Delta 4003.
But we'll be using the in hectogram going
1153
forward.
local winds are 08.
Let's put this to 240 so I remember. Usually I think you would put this to the V2 speed, but I find the V2 speed to be too low based on the document I have. Because you don't have like a takeoff calculator with this one, which is a bit annoying. And we can actually close now this service door, I realized. Pretty quickly it closes. I do wonder how that works if you're having like an actual issue, right? Like does it just blow out or does that work even without electricity? Let's see. Let me check also that the... Yeah, we can see the stop audio working. So I think it's supposed to be working. So hopefully you'll hear the engine start up, etc. All of that stuff. Okay, let's do the waypoints. We don't have a lot of them. I think 5, which is fine. We can't fly too long anyway. And I think we start with north. Yeah, you have to press north, not insert. So north. One thing to kind of note is that they're not kind of connected. It's the same INS. Otherwise, I guess you would have to press remote. 34005. Insert. West. Let's remember we're doing west 118 180. Insert. That's the first one. North. This is Orca 34210. Sorry, not east. West. There we go. And the west one is 117347. Pretty nice with the Luke Air tool. It's giving some nice callouts. Okay, Missen. Let's see. North 3 5 6 1. West 1 1 6 2 4. And then 2. Insert. Let me just check. Yeah, it's west. We're doing north again for Watev. And that's gonna be 35192 insert. And then west 116 11606 9 insert. And then the last normal waypoint north 35437. And then west 115 333. And then let's put the airport itself also, just so we have that for, you know, depending if something goes wrong. 3604. 36048. Is this the safety announcement? Maybe it is. Maybe I'll press it just to be sure when we're doing pushback, but it... Yeah, okay, it was pretty short, so I don't think that was the safety announcement. 36048 West 11509 West 11509-1. There we go. Now we have all of that. And it's aligned. I don't think we'll see the nav ready, because that shows up a bit too early at 055, I think. You should see the nav ready. Not sure why it shows up that early. Maybe, I think that's correct actually. And also note that it's not the best implementation of the INS. It's connected to, you put it here to the FMC, but then it's basically controlled by the heading bug here, not the nav, which I doubt is correct, but of course I could be wrong. I think we have everyone boarded now as well, so that's good. Yeah, look at that, Korean air cargo. It's always fun when you're flying a plane and then you see all these other ones and you're like, damn, I should have flown the 777 or... But I've been flying this one a lot now, and it's been quite a lot of fun, even though it's a pain to land. You can though put these off, I think that works, or then you just do a landing with flaps 18 and you won't have to bother with the DLC system, but I feel like I need to push myself. Yeah, these are working. Let's put this to 25. Seems a bit crazy though that it would be that low, the pressure control, but okay. What was it? It was 1018. So let's just use that. It's probably gonna differ a bit. That should be fine. Or maybe it works pretty well. I can hear the different callouts from AirTool. Okay, so we'll put that on. We'll start the APU. In terms of the simulation level of this one, I would say it's in the hollow very good. I'm not sure how correct it is. It seems very automated here on this side. Like, there's a few things you have to do, but nothing too much. So, but maybe it's correct, or maybe it's not. And there we have a plane taking off. Was it the Delta, or... I couldn't see. Too quick. But we're going left, so we're going to put our nose to the right. I'm gonna ask for prepare for pushback and departure. As we wait, I'm gonna close all the different doors. Okay, main exit is closing. I think all of these cargo ones are being closed now. You can see the guy come here as well. Main door is closed. All the cargo doors are closed. Happy news. And now, let's see. We have the APU. I'm gonna put the bleed on, or open it, and then the way you want to do this is you're gonna shut here. So we're not controlled anymore by the external power. We can disconnect that. One interesting thing, I haven't been able to get these galley powers to work, so not sure how you do that with the APU. It works when you put the normal generators on, when you have the engines on, right? Let's put these off. This is also, I think, a bit of a bug, because you have to... These are the packs, right? But they kind of light up when you press them, so it's a bit weird. But yeah, some other notes. They have a lot of this button with tests. No sounds though with these fire detections. I'm not sure how well they work. Maybe it's correct. Maybe they didn't have a sound, but it just feels a bit weird. And we want to face south. I'm pretty certain. Is that east? Or is it? Nah, it must be south, right? Facing south. I mean, there's no way it would be north. So facing south. And let's ask Delta 4003 heavy, ready for pushback. Are we getting any? Oh, wait, let me do it again. I'll have the co-pilot do it.
Delta 4003 ready for pushback.
Delta
I'm a bit
4003
surprised
pushback and engine start approved.
that they haven't disconnected the jetway. It's not the end of the
Engine
world, but
start approved.
sometimes it doesn't.
Delta 4003.
Sometimes it doesn't work. Anti-collision lights on. We are ready to go to nav mode, based on what I can see here. So let's do that. Let's check everything else. Everything else is fine. We are, in terms of our weight for takeoff, we are at 361. And that means, I'm just going to quickly check my Google Docs. That means we are taking off with, I'll do flaps 10, 135. It's too low, these V2 ones, but okay, let's use that. I'll put it in here. We are probably going to take off at around 150. Of course, it takes a bit of time once you start rotating for it to take off, but yeah, I feel it's a bit too early. These, I don't know where I got these from anyway, but yeah, they don't seem to align completely. The funny part is we don't have. There we go. Now we have parking brakes. Okay, we want to release parking brakes for the pushback. And we got pushback and engine start approved. So we are ready. Let's release. I'm going to press shift 2. Yeah, we don't have anything with the external power connected. Okay, all engines clear, start at will. We'll turn these off. So not really cold and dark, as these would be in the off position, but almost. Okay, let's start the middle one. Yeah, this jetway wasn't removed. That was a bit weird. Okay, the N1 values are increasing. I can put that to on. I think you should put it to enrich if I'm not mistaken for the engine start. So that's engine number 2, the middle one. And it kind of spools up pretty quickly. Could be correct, but could also be a bit too fast. Hard to say for certain. Okay, that engine is good to go. We'll do engine number 3. Spool us up nicely. But of course, some of these older engines, they do spool up a bit quicker than maybe what one would be used to. And I've noticed also, because I've been flying a lot of flights with the same kind of length, that a bit of more of a trim is pretty good at the beginning. But then eventually you'll want to... Oh, sorry, let's see, we need the flight directors on. Now we can arm. Now we can use the heading bug. Now we need to get this to the FMC. And then it will change the heading bugs. We'll have to follow this one, which makes sense that it's to the east now. Okay, we have the third engine started. We will do the first engine and the last one. That is that engine that I just showed you. And let's enrich. And now it's gonna start spooling up like crazy. I will move over to this viewpoint. I kind of like this because it gives a lot of, you know, you can move it around pretty quickly. The spot view, I think it's called. And yeah, here's the nice, sorry, Air Tahiti, nothing with United. I don't know why I... But it's a very nice livery. I guess the United part is that the jetways are named United. I think it's a 787. Yeah, it's a 787. You can see it a bit on the wings, right? And the large engines as well. Okay, we have a good engine start on all engines. We'll set parking brakes. We'll confirm the good engine start. Let's try actually pressing the... Oh wait, where did it go? There. Let's do the safety. see if we have done. Los Angeles. Very nice. Yeah, it's a bit more advanced than PAGX, to be honest. Let's put these on these. We can turn off the bleed air. We can stop here. Put on the galley buses. We don't need these pumps, the AC pumps. Ah, well, listen to that. I think we have the safety now. Delta, 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 Delta. And now this guy's gonna go. We'll blind him a bit by putting the taxi lights and runway turn-off lights. Delta 4003 Heavy, ready to taxi. Let's see what we get. I'll also put in a bit of vertical speed. 28,000 is pretty good.
Delta 4003 runway 25 right. Taxi via taxiways Tango.
And here's our taxi route.
Sierra,
So
Charlie,
we'll just go
Charlie
straight
1,
and then
Bravo,
try to
Bravo
follow
1.
this the best we
Hold
can.
short runway 25 right.
And
Runway 25 right.
I think
Taxi
what we
via
also need to do is of
taxiways
course the
Tango.
flaps.
Tango 1, Sierra,
And what's
Charlie,
going on
Charlie
here with
1,
the...
Bravo, Bravo 1.
Okay, now we have the
Short
speed brakes
runway
set.
25 right, Delta 4003.
We don't have any auto brake. One thing we need to put on is the weather radar. I'm not sure because it doesn't really allow you to select but the VX itself, but maybe that's not a selectable mode. I think we can keep it at this 60 nautical miles, is pretty good. Talking about the weather, let's have a look here. So we have a bit of a jet stream, but that's about it. Other than that, it looks fine. The weather at our destination, we have to scroll a bit, is looking fine. Clear, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. We can close this. And let's see what we'll get. I have the charts on my hardware iPad, so let's see what we get in terms of runway and approach. But I'm gonna guess that ILS to runway 19 right, if there is an ILS, of course. But I'm pretty sure usually there is an ILS. Let's see though, why can't I find the... Where do they have the approach plates? Here we go, ILS 19. Did they really? No, sorry. Why 19 right though? Well, okay, it's not too wrong, 19 right. We could have done 26 left as well. 26 left was in the sim brief plan, but I think 19 works pretty equally well. Maybe that one coming in from the north, so it should be fine. We don't want to put on the auto throttle, so we'll keep it as is. Lights. Oh yeah, this we should have put on a while ago. Smoking. I don't think these are... Oh, maybe we can press them. Now we should be ready now. So I'm gonna release the parking brakes and give us a bit of thrust. It's very interesting how this kind of works. It works really well with the taxiing. So I think a lot of the Captain Sim aircraft, they all have their kind of benefits. This one is, I think, very nice to fly. System seems to all work, and to the extent they are simulated, maybe not to the same extent, for example, as 767, but some of these older ones don't have as many systems, right? Potentially with the engineering panel maybe needing more stuff in real life than what we're seeing in the sim. But then other things, you know, we don't have any windscreen or any rain effects. We neither have any cabin, or we have one, but it's really basic. It looks good from the outside though, because you have these 2D cutouts of people, right? So from the outside it looks perfect. But yeah, apart from that, not the best one. But yeah, the taxiing is pretty nice. Moving the nose wheel, it feels kind of sluggish. So it does feel like there's friction. With the 767, unfortunately, feels more like, you know, gliding forward on butter, kind of. Okay, what do we need to think about now for the takeoff? There's nothing to arm in terms of speed brakes, and we didn't have auto brakes. You don't even arm the speed brakes on approach, and I guess that ties into the DLC system, right? Because you're going to use those speed brakes for the well, of course for the landing, but you're basically using it to when you're controlling pitch instead of pitch. So that's the weird part, so to speak. Let's check here. We're gonna turn left here, and we're gonna go down with this all the way to the end of this taxiway. So I think right was clear, and I'm feeling that we have a bit of lag, which could be related to all the... It's weird though, because I'm getting this sluggishness, but then when I check my task manager, it's not really pushing too much performance. I'm basically at 10% CPU. My GPU is not even being used that much, 56%. So my guess has always been that it's just, you know, not that well optimized. But yeah, not the end of the world. I think it's only one core, right? So that hampers a bit P3D.
Ground Blue Streak 5579, spot 12 with Zulu.
Because it's pretty smooth, apart from being a bit lower FPS otherwise, and you can notice it when I'm turning, right?
27 left, Foxtrot, hold short 27 right.
Could also be that amount of aircraft. I mean, look at this. This is with 30%, right? If we could cut this in half, it could probably help a bit. But it's kind of nice to see other aircrafts when you're like Qantas, and of course some of these modern ones is a bit boring. I would want to... I have an older... I have like classic AI, but the problem is that it's BGL files, so it's even worse on FPS. It's like horrendous, to be honest. But oh well, oh well. Okay, we have heading selected. You can see it changing a bit because it's gonna... It's very basic with INS, right? It's from the point where we had our first position and then to that waypoint, so it will try to catch kind of that course. So a bit like trying to follow the localizer, right, in a sense. So we'll be turning maybe more to the left, and then we'll have to turn back to the right in order to get on the magenta line, so to speak. Or the right course, inbound course for that waypoint. There we have some DHL, FedEx. I like the amount of vehicles you can see with the GSX airports. The only thing I don't like, or it's actually pretty fine with LAX, but like in the replay mode, you can't see the airport. That's a bit annoying. But could be worse, of course. Okay, let's see. This is not going to be a long flight. 247 nautical miles. So maybe I'll have a bit of a break in between once it's, you know, on autopilot, etc. But other than that, I think I'll be with you guys for most of this flight. I hope though we get less or better FPS once we're closer to Las Vegas. And you can see a bit, it looks a bit weird now with the wheels, right? I mean, this could either be the airport, or it could be that, you know, with the model converter, maybe something went a bit wrong. And let me just 1 second, I gotta quickly fix something. Un momento. There we go. Sorry guys, wife had to get some assistance. Okay, let's see if we can get moving again. So, takeoff, that's gonna be the next step.
Bonanza 6, Sierra Echo, cross runway 26, and then turn right kilo, hold short runway 35. Okay, close to 6, and then right on kilo, hold north.
Okay, let's see. So we'll turn here and then to the right, and then that's gonna be the runway. What was it, like 25 right, I think? So we'll need to ask then about takeoff clearance, but that should be about it. The question is where do they want us to turn, left or right? I'm gonna assume
Delta
right, but let's see.
4003 contact Los Angeles Tower on 133.9er.
Tower on 133.9er.
Well, maybe we can turn here actually.
4003.
That will speed things up a bit. And I'll have our co-pilot ask for
Tower,
takeoff clearance.
Delta 4003 ready for departure.
We can put on all those lights. You can see them here. Looks pretty good. Even lights up a bit of the fuselage. And we got nothing. Let's try again.
Tower, Delta 4003 ready for departure.
Ready
on
for
runway
departure.
25 right.
American 774, contact departure.
Maybe I'll need to do it. Delta 4003 heavy, ready for departure.
Delta 4003 contact Los Angeles ground on 121.75, for taxi clearance. Winds are 088 at 3 knots.
Clear.
Runway 25 right cleared for takeoff. Squawk 4332 maintain runway heading until above
Then turn right, yeah.
1,100 feet, then
As
turn
I
right
figured.
to heading 070 to intercept course.
Okay, let's just wait and see.
Ground on 121.75.
Because I don't want to
for
switch. We
taxi.
want to be on the tower frequency.
Then cleared for
So that's
takeoff.
1339.
Runway 25 right squawking 4332 maintain runway heading until above 1,100 feet, then right to 070 Delta 4003.
Okay, we're still on the tower frequency, that's good. Let's line up here. Hopefully this gets a bit better. I think I might be, because I've been trying it a lot now, and I think I might be going back to the same settings. I'd rather have it smoother and see, you know, the same kind of distance that I saw before, rather than, you know, go up a bit and then have the same FPS issues. Good, I think we're ready. And we're gonna push this N1 value to maybe like 95, I think is pretty good, what I've noticed. So we can release here, and let's see what we get now. Okay, it's going above 90. We don't want it to go crazy above. Maybe a tiny bit. Should be enough. Okay, we're taking off. 70 knots. 80 knots. 100 knots. Okay, V1. Rotate. So we'll start rotating here, but let's see how long it takes for us to get off the ground. There we go. Well, maybe it's actually correct. I mean, it takes a bit of time, right, to rotate and get off the ground. Okay, let's get those gears up. Very nice. Okay, gears coming up. What was it? 1,100, then turn right. Okay, we can do that. I can decrease a bit because I want to get the flaps. So let's see if we can get down. Okay, let's go flaps 4. 1,100. We can start turning a bit. And once we're at 200 knots, we can go flap 0, give or take. Okay, now we're going flap 0. Okay, I'm gonna trim a bit. I'm also gonna add the auto thrust or auto throttle.
Departure on 125.2.
Oh, look at that. That's a bit dangerous. Jesus, we don't have any kind of TCAS system, and I guess they are landing in the opposite direction that we're... Yeah, that wouldn't be the normal.
Climbing to 6,000 feet.
Okay, climbing to 6,000 feet.
Delta 4003, good morning. Altimeter
Okay, now the
3006.
frames seem a bit better. So maybe it was just there at the ground.
3006. Delta 4003.
3006. Yeah, okay, we have the right altimeter. It's at 18,000. We switch. But yeah, look at this beauty.
Delta 4003, climb.
Maybe we can take a nice picture here.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
Oh, let's be a bit careful with the pitch. Oh, it is. I think they said, sorry, 13,000. That's what they said. God, speaking too fast for my own brain to process it. Okay, 13,000. Let's put it up to 25 already, because we're just going to be getting higher clearances. Okay, 25. But look at this. This is why you want to draw a lot of oxygen, because it looks amazing, right? But it's quite hard on the system. Okay, we got a good picture though.
Delta 4003, climbing to 13,000 feet.
Let's get that down.
Good morning.
13,000 feet. Okay, we can trim a bit. Or actually, we should pitch up. And then we can trim a bit. We can turn off some of these lights, the taxi and runway turn off lights.
Delta 4003, contact Los Angeles.
I'm gonna manually fly this until we get on the INS. But look at this, looks amazing, right? True Earth Orbex delivering beautiful photoreal. And look at that airport. Kind of blends pretty nice, maybe a bit too green. And the reason why we're going towards the airport again is because that's kind of where it starts, right? The weird, what's it called? Or the course, right? The outbound course from the original waypoint. Well, they wanted us to not maybe fly this tight of a turn, ATC at least. So I guess that's the only thing to keep in mind. They wanted us to be at the 1070, right? Yeah. Then right 070, which makes sense because you wouldn't want to go too tight, right? We should soon be catching up with it. The way we can check it is actually by using Pilot ADC, so it's this one, this line that we're trying to catch. Okay, so far so good. 10,000 feet. Turning off the landing lights. How's the outside? Wonderful. Beautiful. LA. Oh, now we're getting a bit of stuttering. You can see now it's not as crazy the indicator to the right anymore. You can see the heading is also changing a bit. Yeah, look at that. Now we can turn to the left. That was a bit of an abrupt turn, to be honest, for passengers. Well, let's turn off the seatbelt signs. And we can push this one up to 2... Actually, we can do 300, I think, because we're only going to be at 25,000 feet. We can arm at 25,000. We can put this down a bit. And let's see, now we're starting to get on the line, on the course. We'll turn on the autopilot. And now we can, I mean, look at this. It looks absolutely beautiful with all of this hydrogen loaded in. So let me actually, I'm gonna move this one down. And then I think we have, it's about 30 minutes of flying, but we're gonna be flying up to our altitude from this point onwards. So what I'll do is I'm gonna put on the cinematic mode, because it looks very nice with the cinematics mode from chase plane. Specifically now when we have the nice PBR'd aircraft. Yeah, it looks very nice. And what we'll, or what I'll do is I'm gonna, I think, leave you guys to watch this for a while, and then I'll come back to do the approach to 19 right. It's a bit of an interesting approach actually, because you come in from the, oh sorry, that's the RNAV one. Let me let me find the ILS one. That's gonna be a more straight-in one. ILS. Assuming there is one for 19 right. Now I'm a bit worried actually. Do they have one? Potentially they don't have one for 19 that will be a problem. Okay, so I'm not leaving you guys just yet. I'm gonna check, or I'm rather gonna check if we can even do 19 right. No, we can. There is a VR approach. There is a VR one. That's interesting. That could be fun. Hard though, to be honest. But what's the VR approach for 19 right? Can I find it? The VRA approach, direct vectors. How does that one work? So basically you come in. That makes no sense. How, or I mean it makes sense, it's just that I can't understand it. So you're supposed to come in, and do you then do like a turn to get onto it? Let's actually check what the weather is like. Maybe we can pick another one. Yeah, it's fine, there's basically no wind. So maybe we could do 2-6, but 19 right, I think that's one of the beautiful approaches, right? So I would really want to do that. But the question is how you fly it. It's a circling one, that must be it, right? C circling. Let me check this KLAS 19 right VR approach. Huh. God, I wish I knew better how to read these plates. Missed approach, climb to... Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Let's put it in though, as the approach, and then we'll have to figure it out. But I really don't want to do too... do it too difficult. Because where does it want us to be? So at the last waypoint. Yeah, it's a circling approach.
Mike Alpha, climb and maintain flight level 210.
19 right, so it's the right one. You can see here how we're supposed to come in. So we're coming in from the south, we're flying directly above the airport. And then I guess you fly like this. And then you have to do like a very tight turn. And the only reason why I'm a bit hesitant is like this seems like an approach that's maybe more appropriate for a smaller aircraft. And not ours. Well, let's check what other ones we have. 19 left maybe. Does that one have any cool?
Jet 972, climb and maintain flight level 210.
And that's the same one as well. Well, let's try it. VRA, direct vectors. We'll load that approach and we'll give it a try. Hopefully they can vector us in and help us with that approach. Let me just quickly jump in and check that everything is correct. Yeah, we are. Ah, god damn it. Now it stopped working. That's not what we want to see.
Center, Delta 4003, at 13,000 feet.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Delta 4003 descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
Descent and maintain 13,000
Can I ask for a higher?
feet. Delta 40.
Delta 4003, good morning. Contact Los Angeles Center on 126.35.
Let's see if the autopilot does this.
Center on 126.
Okay.
Delta 4003, this is Los Angeles Center, go ahead.
Center Delta 4003, level at flight level 250.
Delta 4003, good morning. Delta 4003, altitude is 13,000 feet.
Okay, let me
Altitude is 13,000 feet.
let me request a new altitude.
Delta 4003.
I'll move
Delta
this out of the way.
4003, descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
Descent and maintain 13,000 feet. Delta 4003. Descent and maintain 13,000 feet. Delta 4003.
This tool could be great if it was just working a bit better.
Delta 4003, request new altitude of flight level 250.
Delta 4003, contact Los
Ah,
Angeles
god
Center
damn,
on
they're just
132.3.
ping-ponging us around.
Center on 132.3.
Jesus Christ.
Delta 4003, this is Los Angeles Center, go ahead.
Center, Delta 4003, Center Delta 4003, level at flight level 2.
God damn. This is much
Delta
harder.
4003,
Yes, I know the
altitude is
altitude,
13,000
but
feet.
I need to get a new
Good
one.
morning.
God damn.
Altitude is
Need to get a new
13,000
one.
feet. Delta 4003, Center, Delta 4003, request new altitude of flight level 250.
Delta 4003, descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
Maintain 13,000 feet.
This is frustrating.
Delta 4003.
The airport elevation is 2000.
Delta 4003, negative. Your requested altitude is below the minimum for your route.
It's below
Descent
the
and maintain
minimum.
5,900. Delta
We can't descend.
4003, altitude is 5,900 feet.
5,900?
Altitude is 5,900 feet. Delta 4003.
I mean, it's 137 nautical miles to go.
Delta 4003,
5,900 is...
Your requested altitude is below the minimum for your route. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descent and maintain 6,000 feet.
It's below
Delta
the minimum?
4003.
Makes no sense.
Delta 4003, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Let me request
Descent and maintain 6,000 feet. Delta 4003.
let's request the approach while we're doing this.
Center, Delta 4003, request vectors for the VOR approach to runway 19 right at Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra.
Let's see if we can get this. And the main reason why I wanted to request the approach is partly to see if that maybe would fix this altitude. Come on, people. Maybe we can try this. Request climb to...
Center, Delta 4003 request climb to flight level 250.
Delta 4003
Yeah.
maintain flight level 250.
There we go.
Descent and maintain flight level 250. Delta 4003.
Happy days. But yeah, let's see with the approach. This makes me a bit worried. Because if it's going to be a circling one, so basically fly over the VR, and that's going to be right above the... I'm looking at the approach template, right above the airport itself. And then it's a circling approach with a... what looks like a left turn. But I want to see if I can find like a YouTube video. YouTube KLAS 19 right VR approach. But we only have It's interesting, I can't really find. Is that even a thing anymore? Like the 19 right VR? You would think it's an approach, right? Let me Google how to fly VR circle approach. And visually maneuver to land. Okay, this is AI when the file records is not
Delta
aligned.
4003 contact Los Angeles
Flight
Center on
tight
132.5.
traffic pattern.
Center on 132.5.
Well,
Delta 4003.
let me see.
Center Delta 4003. Level at flight level 250.
Delta 4003, good morning.
Let's see, finding some discussions about it. But okay, so I guess we're gonna be pretty low. So at 5 nautical miles from the airport, we're gonna be at 4,280. But then we're supposed to be leveling off at 3,000 feet. Okay, so that's probably the level we want to be at for the circling. Okay, 3,080, and that's the minimums. Oh no, sorry, 3,280. We don't even have minimums that go that low. This one only goes to 500, funnily enough. Expect vectors for the RNAV approach. we can't do the RNAV approach to 19 right. So let me do request vectors to the KLAS VR approach for 19 right.
Center, Delta 4003 request vectors for the VOR approach to
And the VR is 1169. So let's put that on. Let's see if we have the right one. 1169. We'll put it on both. They just ignore our request. I'm like, hey, can you give us this? Let me try again. VR 19 right.
Center, Delta 4003 request VOR approach to runway 19 right.
Maybe we can't do it because we're not close to the approach.
Yeah, we can head towards Cosmo and do the ILS 3-1 and 2.
I'll
Maybe if that helps. 14, clear your clock. Cosmo 5814.
tried to force the arrival, but don't seem to. I don't seem to have any luck. Okay. I've activated the approach now, so let's see if that helps. But here you'll see kind of how it looks. So I activate now, we're gonna go here and then there, and then we'll fly here. And my guess is something like this, and then land. That must be it, right? That must be the way to do the circling approach. I mean, if we're on this side, right? It doesn't make sense for us to fly like this. Must be, but I'm not sure actually. But I would think it's like parallel with the runway, tight turn, land. But let's see. We want to be at an altitude of 7,100, so let's ask for a descent, because they seem to have forgotten us.
Center, Delta 4003 request descent to 7,000 feet.
Wait, 70,000? Yeah, 7,000. They seem to have kind of forgotten about us. So I'm gonna start our descent anyway, because I do wanna have a nice flight and I don't wanna fall behind the aircraft since we're executing a non-precision approach. Let's do 7,000. Now let's descend with about 2,200 feet. That should be good enough. It's only 80 nautical miles, so maybe we'll actually have to descend a bit more, 2,400. And we can do 500, I think. We'll do 240, and then we'll check what the course is on this
Delta
one, 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain
I need to
flight
descend,
level
people.
250.
I'm sorry.
Delta 4003.
360. I think it's broken, unfortunately. Request descent to, let's maybe try 6,000.
Center, Delta 4003 request descent to 6,000 feet.
They're just ignoring us. That's rude. Luckily, we don't need them, because it would have been the vectors that would have been good. I think if we otherwise stay on this one, we'll get pretty close. This course, I think, should be fine. The only thing will be that before the final one, we'll just need to maintain this one.
Delta 4003 climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250.
What are they yapping on about?
Delta 4003.
Okay, let's request new altitude off instead. Maybe that will work better.
Center, Delta 4003 request new altitude of 6,000 feet.
So yeah, pilot see it works nicely when it works, but it's not really meant to be flying these. Ah, there we go. There we go, 4,600.
Descend and maintain 4,600
We are in luck.
Descent and maintain 4,600 feet. Delta 4003.
And I actually think the best way would be to kind of maintain this this heading. So I'm wondering if we should even just go off from the FMC and then fly this heading. So we're not flying with DNS anymore. I think that should be fine. We don't want to descend too fast, I just realized. So let's level off a bit. I mean, it's only 66 nautical miles, but I'm a bit of hesitant with all these mountains here, right? Specifically here south of
November 889 Delta Whiskey, contact center 13.
yeah, we can't fly. There's some mountains at 8,000 feet, and that's gonna be, let me see, Casey, is that the one that they are thinking? No, they are saying it's gonna be Cinda. The problem with Cinda is then we're flying right across some of these higher up ones in terms of the mountains. We wanna fly a bit more to the right actually. Not crazy, but just a bit, so we wanna come down here.
Delta 4003 contact Los Angeles Center on 124.62.
We're not flying that fast
Center
either.
on 124.62.
I think this
Delta
should be good.
4003.
Maybe a tiny bit more, but we don't want to come too tight for the turn, right? So we miss the
Center
localizer.
Delta 4003, descending to 4,600 feet.
Delta 4003, good morning.
Theoretically though, I guess Cinda would work as well, but it's a bit high. We don't want to actually go lower than 4,600. Let's do 6,100 for now. I think that's the one we need to keep at the beginning. Actually, we need to be at 7,100 for a 1 minute holding pattern before we go, but we're gonna skip that for now because it doesn't seem like there's a holding pattern in the pilot to ADC one. Then we can turn a bit back. Like this should work. I think this should be fine. Are we descending too slow now? That's the question. Okay, I'll increase it a bit. Well, not too crazy. Okay, one thing I just realized, I never did the altimeter, the standard one. Not that it really matters. Active weather 1020-313. Okay, let's put that in, and I'm quickly gonna go and get something to drink. Need some water, and then I'll be back.
Exojet 406 Center, good morning. Climb and maintain flight level 330.
Exojet 406 330.
Climbing 290. United 1648 Center, good morning. Climb and maintain flight level 330. Level 330. Good ride this morning, United 1648. Affirmative. Southwest 1429, 233, climb 290. Southwest 1429 Center, good morning. Climb and maintain flight level 330. 330, South 1429.
Okay, let's see. I really feel like we have descended way too much. Let's level off a bit. So I think it's gonna be there. Let's put the seatbelt signs on. Landing lights on. But yeah, this feels tricky. Let's see what they have told us. Nothing actually, it's been quiet. The thing is, we don't have any terrain. I'm not sure actually if we have any sort of terrain or radar or of anything of that sort. So that's something to keep in mind. In terms of the minimums, even though we can't use it, I'm gonna set it just so we have something to follow or try and follow.
Good morning, Compass 5729, level 35.
I think if you're doing a circling approach, what's the final approach fix? Let me see. VR circling approach, final approach fix. Is that a thing?
Center Sky 3460, level 370.
That was 3460, Center, good morning.
The only thing I'm wondering is mainly from the standpoint, when can I basically do the or when should I engage all these systems, right? The direct lift control, etc. I don't want to engage that for the circling, that's the thing, right? So we then have 18 flaps, maybe we can use flaps 18 up until we're on final, and then we'll push it down to 42, flaps 42. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Let me go a bit further to the right here.
Southwest 1646, you can maintain 300 knots for the climb out.
We're actually off a bit, I think, from our... So we want to come in this way, not over these mountains. Those are a bit higher, actually, around 6,000, some of these here. Would have been crazy to fly this without the visual. Let's descend a bit more, nothing crazy. 32 nautical miles left. This would be very interesting. I never do these kind of VR circling approaches. Maybe for a good reason. Maybe for a good reason. What about speed? Anything in that regard, or is that just what we're supposed to take care of ourselves? The funny part is pilot ADC by definition becomes a bit of cheating, but if I could trust the ADC more, then I wouldn't have to look at it to kind of figure out what it's thinking. But yeah, oh well. But look at this, the beauties, or like just all of this nice surroundings, the mountains, looks very nice. And now we're kind of moving away from Orbex through Earth, and we're gonna come into, I think it's Mega Sceneries, Nevada. The funny part is that now, I guess, I could have just, you know, because I paid for some of these Mega Scenery ones, and they are nice, they look very good, but I could have just done my own ortho, to be honest. But oh well. You live and you learn. Okay, 7,500. We are coming down, but maybe not fast enough. Let's push it down a bit. And I'm gonna slow down it even more. And I'm wondering how manually we want to do this actually. Let's get on the VR approach. When we have around 12.5 nautical miles, that's when we should be at 6,100. So we still have some ways to go. Basically no rush. And then after that we should be at 9.5, we should be at 5,400. And that's... I can't see actually, what's the descent? I'll have to have a look at that. Wait a second, I'm getting a phone call. I'm just quickly gonna pause here. There we go. Let's see, I'm gonna unpause and put the sound back on. Okay, where were we? Approach, landing lights are on. Let's turn on the taxi and turn off runway turn off lights as well, so we don't forget that. We're soon going to be turning into the localizer, so we can probably arm that. And we should now be leveling off at 6,100. And what was that? That was 12.5. And we have slowed down a bit. Let's slow down a bit more, because we want to have sufficient time to react on everything, since we're doing this the first time. I rarely do. I think I've done once a circling approach.
Resume navigation.
And we can turn a bit
Delta 4003.
to the left, I think. But not crazy, but a tad bit. Because the runway is somewhere here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a bit afraid though, because the map doesn't show how the city, or where the city is. And I think it's gonna be quite close, right, with the high rises, etc.
Turn left to heading 010 to return to course. Maintain heading 040 vectors. Delta 4003 contact Las Vegas approach on 120.
Heading 010. Okay, they want us to turn a bit more, I think, for the approach itself. I think we can go flap 4. Okay, it's looking like we're getting closer now. I think I'll go manual with the thrust.
03, good morning. Contact Las Vegas Tower on 118.75. Contact Las
And
Vegas
let's see, we want to
Tower
go
on
down to
118.75.
3,300 about.
118.75. Tower on 118.75. Delta 4003.
Okay, let's see, we should be going on the localizer. I think it's armed.
Tower
And I'll need to
Delta
add a bit of thrust now.
4003. Inbound for VOR approach runway 26
I'll go
right.
flap 10.
Delta 4003.
Let's see if we're getting enough
Continue
thrust.
VOR to runway 26 right, call when established on final.
Let's get the speed up and then we'll level off.
On final Delta 4003.
We can arm and we'll descend about 700 feet per minute, should be good enough. We'll go flap 18. And are we flying now the localizer or? Or is it still only armed? Still only armed. I think now we're gonna be flying the localizer. And let's see how this is gonna work actually. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I think I realized what happened. The problem, I'm gonna have to take control over this myself, and I'm gonna have to floor the thrust, and I'm gonna have to pitch down to save this. This is the risk a bit with the stalling, but here the problem was, of course, the crazy turn that we got into, because then the stall speed would decrease quite a bit. I don't know why we don't wanna, or why it doesn't wanna give us the localizer or arm that. Let's get back on. Because we should be descending, which I'm hoping we'll be doing now. We're 8.4, so we should be below 5,400. Let me check if we can get this a bit more to the right. There's the runway. Yeah, so I think we should be around there and then we'll do a right. Yeah, I think it will make sense. And we're not using the DLC system at least, so that's fine. But yeah, look at this. We have a lot of thrust. I mean, flaps 18. Yeah, maybe it's a bit much. But we are descending, so that's strange. But yeah, not sure why we can't capture the localizer. That makes this a bit more difficult than it should be. So it's acting a bit weird. Potentially the alpha protection that kicked in was messing a bit with it, but oh well. Okay, we should be at 5.5. We should be at 4,200. We're a bit higher, 4,300 to be exact. I'm gonna slow down a bit. At least it's looking better now. A bit worried still about the speed, so we have to keep an eye on that. Just getting that to level off correctly. Let's do 700 for now. Okay, we're back at least on the localizer, so that's good. It's been loading up pretty nicely. You can see a lot of the buildings around. What's the frames? Let's double check that just for our own sake. Around 20, so it's a bit low. Let's add... This is crazy though, look at the speed. I feel like there's something off with because we're not even, you know, flaps 18, that's quite a bit, but it's not that much, right? Okay, soon we're at 3,200, so we're gonna be landing on the right one, so we're gonna be flying and then turning. I think that's gonna be the plan. Okay, 3,800. We're maybe a bit high. I'm gonna drop the landing gear. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna go with the DLC system. I think I'll only deploy full flaps once we are somewhat on kind of the final straight-in approach after we made our turn. I'm gonna check if we have different weather here. 1021. So a tiny bit higher barometric pressure. So I'm gonna take control here. And then we're gonna level off. Try to at least level off. And I think the way we'll have to do it is we'll have to do a bit of a turn outwards and then come back in order to properly execute this. And let's see if we can maintain the altitude somewhat. Speed-wise, I think we're looking pretty good. Maybe I dropped the gears a bit too soon. Do you want that when turning? Not sure, to be honest. Probably better not to have them deployed. Okay, 2.6. Okay, and I think we can start making our turn. It's kind of in the back now, the VR. And in order to do this somewhat appropriately, what we're gonna have to do is add a bit of thrust, and we're gonna have to make a really tight turn. The question is, can we do it with this big bird? Hopefully. Okay, we're maintaining pretty nice. Question is, will this be enough? I'm gonna need to throttle down quite a bit. Oh, it's gonna be tight. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, look at that. We we overshot it a bit. We should have gone further to the right. Now the interesting part is that
Lufthansa 426 heavy, turn right. The high speed is Victor spot 30 after.
is to see if we can turn back in. Okay, we are somewhat okay-ish. That was not very well executed, to be honest. Let's see if we can get this done. So we should have gone further to the right before turning left. We're now dropping flaps to full. We need a lot of thrust. That's the only bad thing with the DLC system. Okay, let's see. The funny part is that we're quite high. Even though we are trying to descend. Yeah, this is gonna be tight. So this will be tight. Let's see if we can do this. Adding a lot of thrust, trying to level off a bit. Okay, might be fine. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a bit hard. But it should be okay.
003, be advised you may have landed on the wrong runway.
Did they give us another one? Did we land 19 left? I don't think so. This was 19 right? Oh no, they changed to 26 right. That's annoying. Sorry about that, guys. Why would we have gotten the 26 right? That was interesting. 26 right, column established on final. I explicitly asked for the 19 right, just because, yeah. Well, doesn't really matter. Or if we would have done the 26, we could have done the ILS1, which would have been smoother. But I think this was pretty fine. I mean, it wasn't the best ever landing. I think the approach, though, I mean, we overshot it a bit, but it's quite hard to land on a threshold with this aircraft, specifically because you're fighting with the spoilers, etc. But let's get everything set up here. Master power on. Start the APU. We have turned the landing lights off. Let's taxi to the airport. But yeah, maybe I need to. But I mean, funnily enough, I don't get any stuttering. But maybe I need to tone down a bit on the loading of the autogen with the distance, because I mean the FPS we're getting is not that good, right? It's 21 FPS. It's a bit low, to be honest. Okay, let's see, we don't need these anymore. I can turn them off. Flight director, we can turn that off. And let's see, what else do we need to do? We'll need to check the replay. But let's try to get somewhere to park. Let's see if I have that in my charts. An overview of the gates and stuff. That's usually helpful. Yeah, I think we can probably turn left here soon, and then we'll just but I'm wondering which is the main one. Maybe because I'm guessing there's an international one and a domestic one. This one definitely looks like a domestic one, so it's the international one further ahead, maybe. Maybe that makes sense. But we are flying domestic, or I guess the only reason with the international one why you would want to go there is maybe because the gates are big enough, right? but I think we should be fine. We can just park here maybe. These look to be a bit bigger. But yeah, not sure why I'm getting so low FPS. I need to have a look at my settings. Maybe it's something else that changed. I don't think so though. The funny part is that it's really stable around 20. So I'm almost wondering if, you know, I have some setting set up wrong. Because it's maintaining 20 like a champ. But I don't want to maintain 20, I want to have like 25 maybe. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Maybe it's the NVIDIA control panel. Maybe some setting in that regard that's wrongly set up. But yeah, look at this beauty. And this is the nice flight Tampa. So LA was pretty nice, that's the FS Dream Team one, but the flight Tampa airports are just lovely, specifically the ones that I guess are a bit newer. I would say that some of them are maybe a bit too old, and I'm thinking mainly of, for example, Athens. That one looks a bit, doesn't have kind of the same fidelity, if you want to call it that, as some of the other flight Tampa ones. Kaitak is one I still want to get, but it's 40 euros, basically the cost of an aircraft, so let's see when I get that. Let's see. I think we now will have the APU running, so we can turn on the bleed. But yeah, a lot, like, not that much stuttering. That's one of the greatest benefits, I feel like, having updated my PC in terms of the CPU. And unfortunately a new motherboard, just because the old one broke. Okay, let's see here, C19. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's get to that. I don't know, I don't think this is a large... I mean, maybe the next one would have been for a larger plane, but let's use this one anyway. We're not that kind of long as an aircraft. The length of the fuselage isn't that long. It's more that we're kind of wide. I want to look at that car, just driving straight through. Not a care in the world. Let's shut those off. Now let's add a bit of thrust. Okay, maybe not too much. Okay, we gotta get the flaps up. Not sure if the flaps will show during the replay actually, but let's see. Okay, we can park here, and I'm gonna put on the AC pumps, because now we can shut these engines down without trouble. We can have a look at our landing rate. It was a bit higher than I would have liked, 377. It's one of my worst landings with the TriStar during the last couple of days. We can close PAX, or sorry, not PAXim, PAXim, PAC-X, but now it's Luke Air Tool that we're flying with. PAC-X still doesn't work, unfortunately, but that's not the end of the world. And let's see. Oh, there's a Windows update. Anything nice? Security update. Okay, so probably nothing big. I'm hoping there's gonna be an update and then I can fly the Aerosoft A330 again. Gonna be a fun day when that happens. Let's see, instant replay. Let's do a bit further. 560 maybe? Yeah, we can do even further actually, because it's gonna be more interesting. We can do 590. Okay, so here we've started doing our turn. The main issue that I see here is the fact that we should have gone further, you know, kind of extended further out and then turned in. Because now the problem is we'll have to turn super quickly, right? And we were, this is the weird thing, which I don't really get, is that, you know, we are descending a bit as we were turning here at the end, because I got stressed out, we are gonna crash into those buildings, but the funny part is that our speed is much higher during the turn, but then when we level off, the speed kind of, we start losing speed. So I'm not sure if it's just kind of the profile of the aircraft. I just don't feel like it makes sense, right? Like, how can we gain speed while turning? Now we're descending, right? So here would make sense, but when we're not doing it, how would that make sense? Okay, let's see, and here we level off. But yeah, we're a bit too close. We would want to stay a bit further out. I mean, at least we get a nice view of downtown Las Vegas from 10 years ago before the eye was added. Bit of a bummer they didn't add it to P3D, would have been cool to see it. But yeah, here we come. You can see we don't see the flaps, so that's a bit annoying. And that was the small stuttering we got. Should we have maybe used a bit of right rudder at the landing? Let's see, once we have gotten a bit more aligned with the runway. Could be some nice screenshots of landing here as well, or for the thumbnail, but I think I'll keep the one from LA. That looked pretty good, pretty decent as a thumbnail. Okay, let's see. So we're a bit to the left of it. And then we come down. And the thing is, like, the balancing act, that's what makes me always kind of... Or actually, it doesn't make me float, but it just makes it hard to come down fast enough because you will slam dunk it down otherwise. But I think we get down pretty nicely. Yeah, so the landing is pretty good. Maybe a bit of right rudder should have been pushed. Maybe we could have used... I didn't use the brakes actually until this part basically. So we should have almost made it out on this one. On this... what is it called? The runoff area, I guess, or whatever. The taxiway there. But instead we turned at this one, I think. Or maybe it was the next one. Yeah, it's the next one. Yes, we could have made it. We could have turned earlier, but yeah, didn't use the brakes enough. But yeah, it looks very nice, the flight down to Las Vegas. What's that? Mandalay Bay? I'm gonna guess that some of these hotels were probably really nice back in the day. I'm not so sure anymore. Or maybe they've been able to keep the standard. Maybe some have become tacky, but who knows? But yeah, with that said, I think we can wrap up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and bye bye.